132. Carl tricked the crew. Carl was a very smart mouse. He lived with 3 other mice. When the other mice play game, Carl said he would think and think. Then he would do something smart. One year things got very bad for the mice. Was not much food, and all the mice were very hungry. They cried and yelled and shouted. They ran around and said, What are we going to do? What are we going to do? One day, they came to Carl and said, Carl, we need food. You are very smart. Can you find some food for us? Think. So Carl said. Carl left the other mice and went out to find food. Soon he came to a big tree. Echo was sitting in this tree. That tree. And the crew had a very big chunk of cheek in his mouth. Carl said to himself, the other mice and I could have a real meal if I could get the cheek from the crew. So Carl made up the plan for getting the cheek. Then he said, you are a good looking. Cool. You have such beauty wings. Pretty wings and such big black feather. The crew smiled, but he did not say anything. If he opened the mouth to say something, the cheek would fall from his mouth. Carl said, you have such big wings. I'll bet you can fly very far. The cloud smiled and held out his wings. Yes, Carl said, and you have such good looking legs. I bet you run fast with those legs. The cow smiled and up and ran up and down the branch the tree. Ah, the tree! Cow said, I'll bet you can sing well too. The crow shook his head. No, but he didn't say. I think. Come on, Carl said. Just sing a little bit for me. Come on, your big handsome. Cool. The cool smiled and opened his mouth. Cow, he said, and as he did the shunt of shriek fell from the mouth. From his mouth. Carl grabbed the shriek and waved to the cow. You are good at singing, and you are very, very kind. Thank you for this chick. Thank you very much. The cow started to tell Carl that he didn't mean to drop the shriek, but Carl kept talking. I don't think I will ever seen a crow that was as handsome or as kind as you are. The cow smiled and Carl went home with the shriek. That night he and the other mice had a fine meal. The other mice said, Carl, you are very smart. This story is over.